Well, everybody, it's finally here. Sonic X Shadow Generations finally launched for everybody to play it. You heard that right. Sonic X Shadow Generations finally made it into stores like Walmart, Target, GameStop. Yeah, you can buy the game right now for $50, and with both the remastered Sonic Generations with the new Shadow Generations release. And since I pre-ordered the game, the Digital Deluxe Edition, I had to play it 3 days early. And oh boy, I have some words to say about both Sonic Generations and Shadow Generations. This collection is the best Sonic game of all time. And I don't care if you say it's recency bias, because it's my opinion. And I know not all the people are going to love this game, but for the majority I saw, this game is doing great. Shadow Generations and Sonic Generations are just the highest selling 3D Sonic games ever well done. Sonic Unleashed, you might have some of the best smooth stages, but in my opinion, Sonic X Shadow Generations is superior. But today we're going to go over the remaster and the new game and definitively describe why Sonic X Shadow Generations is the best Sonic game of all time. Also, this video will have major spoilers for Sonic X Shadow Generations. So if you're someone that hasn't picked up the game, has not got pre-ordered the Digital Deluxe Edition, and not get the game from stores, do not watch this video, and you'll be warned. So, alright, so we're gonna start. Starting off with the Sonic Generations portion. Yes, the most boring part of the review. I know, you wanted me to get to the good stuff. I get it. But I have to discuss Sonic Generations because it does have new things in it. Firstly, the new story. And what's my opinions on getting rewritten? Well, it's unnecessary, but I kind of like it. Now, Sonic Generations is a game that doesn't really need a good story. And, I'm happy that I got some rewritten cutscenes, because let's be honest, they're a lot better. But it's just pointless. It's really, really pointless to make a remaster, to rework the cutscenes to have different dialogue. I feel like if they just worked their time upgrading the graphics a bit, this could have been a good remaster. But, I mean, it still is, but it feels like a bit unnecessary with the story. But besides that, everything in Sonic Generations is basically the same. Graphics has a slight tweak to it, but the level design still remains the same. Which also means I still have my same issues with Sonic Generation, and as I explained in my previous review about the OG generations. So, yeah, Planet Wiz still sucks, and the final boss still sucks for Sonic Generations. And I'm sorry to say that, but yes, Time Eater was never fixed, and I'm super not happy that did not happen. And I'm kind of disappointed that it was an opportunity to fix the damn boss. But no, they did not fix it. So yay. Anywho, that's pretty much all I have to say for Sonic Generations. Both classic and modern Sonic still play the same, and they're still amazing as ever. With the new inclusion of the drop dash, which is fine enough, honestly. It doesn't feel like the Mania drop dash, and it's kind of sad. But it's passable. If I wanted to play a drop dash game, though, I just play Sonic Mania. It's just a better experience. Overall, though, Sonic Generations is a fun experience still, with classic and modern Sonic still being at their peak. And yeah, I overall had a really fun time with Sonic Generations. But now it's passing over to the other hedgehog in the collection. Okay, so this is the part of the video I really need you to skip, because honestly, I need you to go into this game blind, because Shadow Generations is generally the best Sonic game ever to control, has some of the best boost levels in any Sonic game, and just, oh my god, Sega did it. They made a Sonic game with so much fun into it that I just can't believe it. I love games like Unleash and Frontiers for a bit, but Shadow Generations, along with Sonic Generations, fix everything that the franchise needed with better levels, some of the best level design, best bosses in the entire series, and overall, like, just this game is great, man. First, let's talk about the story of Shadow Generations. Now, I'm just gonna be completely right here. I was so right of how the game was going to start. Well, I mean, one of my possibilities was he was going to appear in the hub world, but I called it that the Time Eater takes him to the hub world. And of course, that Shadow was going to start after Dark Beginnings, which, yeah, I'm happy I was right about that. Because, come on, it just felt obvious that the Time Eater takes him here. I'm just wondering how Black Doom survived the events of Shadow 05 and managed to land on the Ark, but whatever, I guess. But moving on to the gameplay. Oh my god. The gameplay of Shadow Generations is top tier. Like, generally, some of the best level design in the entire series. And while this game is short, it's fun and replayable, which is something I want from a Sonic game. Some Sonic games, I just play it once and play some of the levels a few times and then never play it again until, like, I do some sort of challenge or a marathon or something. Like Sonic 1, Sonic Unleashed to some extent, Sonic Frontiers, and just, these are games that I found fun, especially Unleashed, but unfortunately, I never have a reason to go back to them after possibly 100%ing everything. And while the levels are fun, it's just some games are just not replayable for me. That is not the case for Shadow Generations. This game is so replayable, and I love it for that. One Sonic game everything needs is replayability, and Shadow Generations, along with Sonic Generations, nails that part, like, amazingly. First off, let me just give praise to fixing one of the highlights of Forces that managed to be one of the most disappointing levels, Sunset Heights. Sunset Heights was fixed in Shadow Generations. It was turned into just a boosting level that was just a straight line to now a full actual 3D and 2D level spread across with actually good level design, good cinematics, and a phenomenal Doom Zone, bro. Like, honestly, Sunset Heights was peak in Shadow Generations and one of my favorite levels in the franchise for sure. But overall, the levels in the game are absolutely perfect. Like, honestly, I never had any bad level in this game. The only level that comes close to being okay is Rail Canyon Act 2, but that's really about it. And besides that, it's still a really good level, honestly. It's still a good level. Like, it's not even bad. And that's really it. All the levels in this game are either 7 out of 10s or higher. Like, honestly, I never got bored playing these levels. And that's the best thing a Sonic level can do. So if you want me to rank all the levels, I'll do it right here. Number 6 would be Rail Canyon. Number 5 would be Kingdom Valley. Number 4 would be Space Colony Arc. Number 3 would be Chaos Island. Number 2 would be Sunset Heights. And number 1 would be Radical Highway. There you go. That would be my list. So yeah, overall, the levels and the gameplay of Shadow Generations is actually perfect. And I could never have anything better than this. I also want to talk about the open world for a bit because I honestly think it's really cool. The fact that you get to explore around this Frontiers-based overworld. And yes, this game blends Frontiers and Generations qualities into this game. Like, honestly, it's really cool. I really like the challenges in the open world that you can do based on the stages. And just overall, it's a really fun hub world to just mess around in and find some challenges to do. I'm actually still working on 100% Shadow Generations, and I'm having a fun time, honestly. But now let's get into the other section, the boss fights. The boss fights in Shadow Generations are generally some of the best boss fights in my opinion, honestly. These boss fights are exciting and fun, ranging from good to great. Like the levels, I'll rank out the bosses from worst to best. Number 4 would be the Biolizard, number 3 would be Mephiles, number 2 would be Metal Overlord, and number 1 would be Black Doom or Devil Doom. And yeah, basically the whole final boss. I'm kind of flipping between Mephiles and Metal Overlord for third and second place, but they're just great bosses. And overall, the bosses in this game are fun. And of course, how can I not mention Shadow Generations without talking about the Sonic vs. Shadow cutscene? Like, generally, this is probably the best Sonic cutscene I've ever seen. It's really cool to see Sonic and Shadow meet in this hub world, and Shadow being in Sonic's hub world in general, and seeing how they got to the Ark to fight, because there was a portal right there, and they just jump into it, and they race for the Emerald. And just, oh my, if you thought the fight for Sonic was cool in Sonic Generations, then this cutscene, oh boy, it was so good. Like, just, the graphics, the animation, the movement, just everything. I wish there were some QTEs in this cutscene, just to make it more, playable, and it would be more fun, honestly, just to have some little QTE sections here and there. But overall, though, this is still a phenomenal cutscene, and it really shows that Shadow's true brilliance, honestly. The fact that he let Sonic have the fake Chaos Emerald instead of the real one, and that was really cool, honestly. That was brilliant of Shadow, and just overall, a brilliant cutscene. On the note of the final boss and stuff like that, the whole final part of the game is the best part about the game, and some of the best parts of any Sonic game. The ending to Shadow Generations with Radical Highway, Devil Doom, and just, oh my god, it's so good. Just climbing up to Radical Highway, the best level in the game, and the climb, to Devil Doom, the best boss fight in the game, and Shadow's Rage is so, his wings, the wings. Also, it is confirmed the wings are his super form in this game. I really love to see Shadow connected with Gerald and Maria, and seeing Gerald call him son, oh my god, it hits so well. And I also love the relationship between Shadow and Maria, their friendship going stronger every time they meet. And Shadow becomes, after this, I generally think Shadow is my favorite character in the Sonic series. The fact that his game did way better than the Sonic game is just amazing to me. I'm intrigued in this character, and his story is actually completed here. While he has a lot of things to grow through of accepting his new friends in life, I fully think that the storyline of him, Maria, and his past is completed in this game. It's done. He's accepted it already. And I could not ask for a more beautiful ending. And oh boy, that final cutscene will break my heart even more. The final cutscene in the game is the most emotional cutscene I've ever watched, probably in any game that I've played. I've never felt this emotional in a Sonic game. Just seeing Shadow's friend and his technical father being disappeared right in front of his eyes broke his heart, and kind of broke mine, honestly. Just Shadow feels so much pain here, and he has to learn to let go of his past and let the future ahead of him. That he doesn't need Maria right now. She's dead, and he just needs his friends at the moment. and just Maria's final words to Shadow, and just, I don't know, man, this whole final cutscene was just beautifully animated and written. Ian Flynn did a great job writing the story of Shadow Generations, and it shows. And also incredible detail to note is Shadow actually cries in the first time ever. He cries because this is something he could not deal with. And if this was my position, I would cry too, honestly. Overall, though, Shadow Generations is a beautiful masterpiece, and it's the best Sonic game ever made, honestly. Bundled with Sonic Generations or without bundled with Sonic Generations, it is still the best ever. So yeah, that's it for Sonic Shadow Generations. Overall, I had a fantastic time playing this game, and I fully agree with everybody that says this is the best Sonic game, or at least in the top 5, because it is. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but Sonic is back, ladies and gentlemen. It's not just a good step in the right direction. He's back. He is back swinging with great games. And this is a brilliant start. Just on a side note, though, I can't wait to play that Movie 3 DLC. We are getting that in 2 months, so, I'm super excited for that. And also, I'm pretty excited for the mobile game Sonic Rumble. I'm going to be playing all that shit soon enough. But at the moment, Shadow Generations and Sonic Generations will remain as some of my favorite Sonic games ever made. Shadow Generations is my favorite game, bundled or without bundled Sonic Generations with it. So yeah, easy best Sonic game of all time. But thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications for every time I post. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you guys later. Goodbye.